Hi everyone, I'm just going to talk you through what we're looking for when you're completing pupil activity 1. The first thing I've said is make sure you read all the slides, just because there is an example at the back of this presentation, just so that you can see what we're looking for. Once you've completed, you can upload your work. So the task is to use your knowledge of construction drawings, create a location plan of the street that you'll live in. So things that you want to be including are any neighbouring buildings. That could be houses, shops, flats, farms, whatever, it depends where you stay. Your plot boundaries, so that would be potentially a fence or a wall that runs between you and a neighbouring house. Think about the different types or styles of houses that you've got on your street. Are they all the same? Are they all detached houses? Are they semi-detached? Are they terraced houses? Is it 3 blocks of flats next to each other? What do they look like? Okay, so we're looking for a rough shape so that we can determine which style of house is which, to be honest with you. The other thing we want to include in our location plan is a street name. You might have more than one street name depending on how complex your where you stay is, and then also some building numbers. If it's, for example, a block of flats, you might just want to call it one number rather than because you don't fit every single flat number onto it. You might live in an area that there's actually no house numbers or building numbers, and it might be that each of the buildings have their own name, and that's what it comes under when you send a parcel to it. Other things we want to look at are roads, pavements, footpaths. Some estates are built so that there are footpaths that link one part of the estate to the next, or a shortcut between some houses into, for example, the park or a school or a row of shops. There might just be something that is more suitable just for people rather than having cars going on as well. For that one, it might be easier if you've got coloured pencils at home to draw it out or sketch it out using different colours. It just makes it a little bit more exciting to look at. But again, if you've not got coloured pencils at home, you don't have to do that. One of the main things that you should have in your location plan is a north direction arrow, which is an arrow pointing in the direction of north, which is enclosed in a circle. Now, when we're completing a location plan, we would normally have it as a scale of 1 to 1,250, but obviously that's going to be a little more challenging for you, and I don't think your neighbours would really like it if you were in measuring their back garden or measuring the size of their house, etc. So what we'll do is we'll just try and make sure that everything is in proportion. Now, because it's your own house or your own area that you live in that we're going to look at, I'm not from the area, so it doesn't really matter how accurate you are in terms of the sizes, as long as you can kind of tell the difference between houses or bits of land. I'm not going to go away in Google Maps and search up for your house. We're not interested in anything like that. It's just about using something that you're around every day and creating a location plan for it. Now, a location plan would be used if, for example, you were going to buy a new build house. You might go into the sales office and they would show you location plans of all the different houses on that the new build plots, and it means that you can see what type of houses are going to be round about you, a rough kind of size in terms of what your garden will look like, whereabouts your driveway is going to be, is there going to be pavement or is it going to be a kind of shared space, anything like that. So some people, when they go to buy new houses, especially when it's a new build, they are very particular in what they're looking for. Some people, myself included, prefer a south facing garden, which means during the summer my garden will be nice and sunny all day long, whereas if you have a north facing garden, you probably will get sun in parts of the garden throughout the day. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put you onto just a quick overview of how you can complete the task. So you can either do it digitally or manually, so you could use slides to create it. You can use, if you've got a tablet, you could use notes or just a kind of sketching app that you've got and just draw it with your finger, or and like an Apple Pencil or kind of fake version of that, whatever you've got. But you don't need to do it digitally, you can do it manually just with pen and paper, pencil and paper, whatever you've got at home. This is kind of up to you how you do it. You don't, like I said earlier, you don't have to include colour. Some of you might want to, just to make it look a little bit more exciting, but again, you don't have to. Like I said, with the scale, you don't have to draw it to scale, but everything should be in proportion. So we shouldn't have a tiny little house next to a big massive mansion that has no garden, and the little tiny house has a huge garden. It's probably not as realistic as what it should be. Once you've completed the task, if you could either save the work and upload the file onto Google Classroom, or what you can do is just take a picture and upload the picture, whatever's easier for you. Remember, if you are uploading a digital file, please make sure it's in a format that myself or Mrs. Malik or even Mr. Thomas can have a look at, to allow us to give you some feedback or guidance on location plans. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do a quick version of a location plan using Sketchbook, which I've got on the iPad. So all I'm doing here is using my fake Apple pencil, and I'm just going to kind of draw you a rough location plan of where I stay. Okay, so what I've got here is I've got my road, and it curves off to the end. Now my street goes on quite a while. I'm not drawing absolutely every single house in the estate, but I'm going to draw the majority of them. So what we've got here is, this would be the kind of lighter faded colour is my pavement, and then I've got my road round the outside of it. Now remember, I'm taking not very long to do this. You guys will obviously have longer to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the colour of the houses. So I'm going to say that what we've got across the road from me is that there is a house that's located in here, and that style of house is actually duplicated here and here. We've then got a different style of house. This one is kind of got a porch type bit on the front of it. And then we've got one of those ones over here. So notice I'm trying to keep them all relatively same size. That one looks much bigger. And then what I want to do is I want to put in my plot boundaries. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in blue just to make it a little bit easier for you. So what we've actually got here is my plot boundary goes between these houses. Again, you can take much more time with it and add your detail a little bit better than me. What I might want to do next is add in some, let's go for some grass. Okay, so what I can do is just say, in that one there's grass there and there. This one, the back garden, is behind, and it has actually got a little bit of grass around the side. These ones have grass at the front because they've got driveways. This one's only got a little bit of grass, but it's got grass around the side here. And then up the back, we've got some grass in the back garden. Okay. Next to me is a different style of house again. So this one we've got two semis. So we've got like that. We've got our semis, and there's actually semis across the road like so. They're just kind of falling off my screen just now, but you kind of get the idea where I'm coming from. If I go back, put my grass in. Let's be a bit greener grass. Okay, so we've got grass in here, we've got grass in here, and their grass actually crosses over in the middle. So their driveway, their driveway is in a slightly different position. They've got grass out the back garden. Now these people across the road from me, I do not know what their garden looks like. I do not know if they're fully grassed or if they've got some sort of patio area, decking area. Totally unsure, but you get the idea. This one we've got a plot boundary in here, plot boundary up here, and then there's your plot boundary in here. Okay. The other thing that I need to do is I need to add in my street name. So we've got Miss Taylor's Street. Okay, we've got the house numbers or plot numbers, whatever it is that you're looking for. So say this is 100 and this one is 102, 104, we've got 98, 96, and then we've got Crossroads, we've got 97, we've got 99, and we've got 101. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got pavements with a kind of thicker black line, we've got the outline of the road with a thin black line, our blue lines are our plot boundaries, we've got our houses are different styles, we've got our house numbers. Something else that we need to definitely include is our north symbol. So my house, which is this one here, we decided that we definitely wanted to have a south facing garden. So when I go to draw my north symbol, it goes in a circle. We have our arrow pointing in the direction of north, which means the bottom end of the arrow is south, and that is the direction of my garden. So that's basically all we're looking for part of your location plan. And obviously everyone's street's going to look different, but the main things have been shown on this little quick sketch of my street. Hopefully that helps you complete the task. Make sure if you're needing any support, you comment on to Google Classroom and someone will get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, speak to you later.